Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to welcome you to today's presentation. Today, we'll be exploring the fascinating topic of exploring the human experience of flight. We'll look at how flight has shaped our lives, our emotions, and our history. So, get ready for an engaging journey through the skis and the stories they hold. Let's dive in. Today, we're exploring some powerful lessons for life, courage, faith, and self-belief through the lens of stories about flight. We'll look at The Black Aeroplane by Frederick Forsyth, which highlights how bravery and trust can help us face the unknown. We'll also see how shared themes like overcoming adversity through flying connect to these lessons. Additionally, we'll examine His First Flight by Liam O'Flaherty, a story about a young bird's journey to take flight for the first time, symbolizing growth and overcoming fears. This collection of stories introduces us to two different perspectives on flying, both challenging and inspiring, and how they relate to our overall themes of resilience and inner strength. So, as we go through these stories, keep in mind how courage, faith, and self-belief are essential not just in flying, but in navigating life's challenges. Welcome to our exploration of Class 10 English Chapter 3, Two Stories About Flying. In this chapter, we find two fascinating stories, His First Flight and The Black Aeroplane. Both stories explore the human experience of facing fears and discovering courage, using flying as a powerful metaphor for life's challenges. These tales show us how overcoming fear can lead to personal growth and confidence. As we go through these stories, think about how the act of flying symbolizes not just physical movement, but also the journey of overcoming obstacles in our own lives. This chapter helps us understand the importance of inner strength and resilience, which are essential themes in our overall learning. So, let's dive deeper into these narratives and see what lessons they have to offer. Now, let's take a closer look at the themes in these stories. Although they're set in very different worlds, they share some powerful lessons. First, they remind us of the importance of perseverance. No matter what challenges come our way, continued effort can lead us through. Next, self-belief plays a crucial role. Believing in our own abilities helps us to face fears and push beyond what we thought was possible. And finally, both stories highlight the value of unexpected help. Sometimes, assistance comes from the most unlikely sources, especially in moments of crisis. All of these ideas tie back to our overall theme of navigating life's storms. It's about recognizing that growth often happens during difficult times, and that our inner strength, combined with a little help from others, can help us overcome even the toughest challenges. This slide beautifully illustrates the universal struggle against fear of the unknown and highlights the powerful role of instinct. Our journey begins with His First Flight, a touching story by Liam O'Flaherty. It focuses on a young seagull who is paralyzed by the fear of soaring into the vast sky. Despite seeing his younger siblings confidently take their first flights, he remains stuck on the ledge, convinced that his wings would never support him. This story reminds us how fear often holds us back, even when instinct urges us forward. It's a perfect example of how overcoming that fear is essential to growth and discovery. So, here we see how his siblings, having already mastered flying, begin to mock his cowardice. This teasing only makes him feel more isolated and inadequate, highlighting the stark contrast between their freedom and his fear. It really emphasizes the internal struggle he's facing, his desire to fly versus his deep-seated fear. Meanwhile, his parents take a tough-love approach. They try to encourage him to take that leap, but their methods are quite harsh. They scold him, leave him alone on a precarious ledge, and even resort to starving him, hoping that hunger will push him past his fear. While this may seem cruel, it actually acts as a catalyst for his eventual breakthrough. Sometimes, tough circumstances push us to overcome our limits. This slide really ties into the overall theme of resilience and growth. It shows how fear, hunger, and familial pressure all contribute to his internal struggle, highlighting that sometimes, overcoming fear requires facing tough challenges head-on. This act of desperation, which might seem like a moment of weakness, actually transforms into a powerful moment of triumph. It really demonstrates how courage is often born out of necessity. When we're pushed to our limits, that's when we find our greatest strength. It's such a strong reminder that sometimes the biggest leaps of faith happen when we feel like we have no other options left. Now imagine this pivotal moment. His mother, seeing his desperate hunger, flies toward him with a piece of fish. But she stops just out of reach, knowing she's offering help but also testing his resolve. Overcome by instinct and the craving for food, the young gull dives forward, forgetting his fear entirely. And in that instant, his wings instinctively spread, catching the wind, and suddenly he's flying. This is the turning point, what I like to call a leap of faith. It shows how sometimes we just need to take that one courageous step, even when we're unsure. When we push through our fears, that's when real growth happens. And in this story, it's a powerful reminder that sometimes the most significant change comes from a moment of desperation that turns into a moment of triumph. As we delve into this slide, let's first imagine a pilot caught in the midst of a fierce tempest. His instruments fail, and suddenly he loses all contact with ground control. This moment vividly illustrates how fragile human control can be when faced with nature's immense power. The pilot is left vulnerable, confronting the terrifying reality of being utterly lost in the storm. Now, shifting gears from the natural world to the mechanical, we encounter Frederick Forsyth's The Black Aeroplane. This story takes us into the perilous journey of a pilot flying an old Dakota aircraft from France to England. At first, it seems like a routine flight, but things quickly take a turn for the worse when he encounters a massive, ominous storm cloud. This story underscores the unpredictable dangers pilots face, especially when flying older aircraft that may not be as reliable. It also highlights the importance of skill, preparation, and sometimes a bit of luck. Connecting this to our overall theme, both the natural elements and mechanical vulnerabilities remind us of the delicate balance pilots must maintain. Whether battling nature's fury or dealing with mechanical issues, their safety depends on their resilience and ability to adapt. This unexplained intervention really forms the heart of the story, prompting us to think about what help truly means. It challenges us to consider whether there might be unseen forces at play, especially during our darkest moments. Just as despair begins to take hold, a mysterious black aeroplane suddenly appears out of the storm. It signals him to follow, almost like a guiding presence. With no other options left, he decides to place his trust in this unknown guide. And remarkably, the black aeroplane leads him safely through the treacherous clouds, defying all logic. It becomes a beacon of hope amid chaos, showing us how sometimes help can come from the most unexpected places. This idea ties into our overall theme. Sometimes we need to trust the unseen to find our way through the storm. So, at this critical moment, I ask the control tower a desperate question, seeking answers amid the chaos. And what I received in return was both surprising and deeply unsettling, an answer that left me more confused than ever. It made me wonder, who truly saved me that night? Was it just an ordinary rescue, or was there something more mysterious at play? A mystery lingers here. There was no other plane in sight. No radar signals, no signs of another aircraft. And yet, a black aeroplane appeared just in time, guiding me safely to the runway before vanishing as mysteriously as it had arrived. I landed feeling relieved, but also puzzled. I asked about the other plane, but the tower told me they saw nothing on radar. This leaves us, and me, wondering about the true identity of my savior. Was it an unseen helper, or perhaps something beyond our understanding? It's a powerful reminder of how hope and mystery can intertwine, especially when we're faced with the unknown. And it ties back to the overall theme. Sometimes, help comes in ways we can't fully see or explain, but it's there, guiding us through even the darkest storms. Now, let's look at the role of support in these stories. Both protagonists are faced with immense, paralyzing fear that can hold them back or even stop them completely. Yet, despite that, they realize their true capabilities, abilities they once thought impossible. This realization often comes from external support, whether it's from family, who believe in them, or from a mysterious inner strength that guides them forward. Conquering that fear is a crucial part of their journey. In both his first flight and the black aeroplane, The act of flying serves as a powerful metaphor for overcoming internal struggles. Flying isn't just about physical movement. It symbolizes personal growth, the confrontation of internal demons, and navigating life's unpredictable challenges. Finally, these stories highlight a shared theme: overcoming adversity through flight. It's about pushing beyond limitations, facing fears, and emerging stronger on the other side. This connects deeply to our overall theme of resilience and growth, showing how support, courage, and the symbolic act of flying help us achieve our full potential. Just like the young seagull and the pilot, we all face moments where we need to take a leap of faith. These are times when trusting our instincts becomes crucial, and believing in the possibility of guidance, whether it comes from within us or from external sources, can make all the difference. What these stories really teach us is that fear is a natural part of being human. We all experience it, but it's important to remember that fear is not insurmountable. Courage, which often stems from self-belief, is what helps us push through those challenging moments. Sometimes, that courage is also bolstered by unexpected help or guidance, which reminds us that we're not alone in our struggles. Ultimately, these lessons underscore a central theme of this presentation: that courage, faith, and self-belief are essential tools for overcoming obstacles and reaching our goals. They remind us that even in the face of fear, we have the inner strength to persevere and succeed.